Good morning, fellow traders. Bubblehead here, and it's time for the Good Morning Market Prep for Monday, January 6, 2020. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend and a great night last night. Everything's brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything's for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. All right, let's take a look and see where we're at. So last week finished with a red spinning top, right? This had some ominous implications, right, with the big upper shadow almost closing within the real body range of the prior week. So we'll see if that gets any follow through to the downside, right? If it turns into a top kind of reversal candle like this one did back in September. But we're going to keep an eye on it, right? Because the daily chart, right, still held its trend, right? So let's take a look at. Sorry, this is from the discussion last night, but let's put the trend up here. Okay, there's your trend line. What we can see here is we gapped down on the war news, right, and it held this upward trend line and pushed up off of it, so that we ended up finishing up over trend there. So basically, if we did, kind of move back down, we'd be back down to this 29.06 level, and we would be gapping down below this level, and that could have bearish implications. It could give you a quick gap fill on this open gap here, and then we'll have to see it with the price action is today to see if they put in a lower shadow and try to get back above that trend line again and work the way back up to all-time highs. So again, increased tension in the Middle East, so that's going to affect oil. So let's take a look at the futures, and we'll look at oil futures. Okay, so here's the S&P futures down 18 points this morning. Okay, so here's a trend line here from Friday, right? Here's your lows, here's your highs. So we're still below the trend line right here, but we have been seeing a little bit of a bounce this morning since around 4 a.m. We'll see if that can continue, if we can get above this trend line, get constructive, and continue to work its way up. Let's take a look at oil futures. Okay, so oil futures with a gap up last night. Again, they're kind of doing the inverse of the market right now, a little bit of a move up here. But right now we're seeing them up about 79 cents this morning, so that could be pretty interesting. So we're going to keep an eye on some of the oil stocks. Right, this morning we have Oxy. This has been on our radar a lot recently. It's been very bullish. If you go to the daily chart, right, you can see very, very strong moves. Right, big gap on Friday with a reversal, but it's still holding up there pretty well, and it's gapping up again this morning. So we also keep an eye on the miners, gold, things like that. So we're seeing that's gapping up this morning. We're noticing that they do like to gap up and reverse at the open. So do keep an eye on that. But we are seeing a lot of strength into these. What was interesting is the buy up on this into the end of the year, right? On a lot of these, the GDXs, the GLDs, right, the PAASs, things like that, right? We're seeing these, a lot of buy up into the end of January, which is pretty interesting, right? Folks possibly gearing up for a shift down one way or another. So that's something that we're seeing here. Of course, one of the trades that we had as a swing trade the other day on this news, and a strong candle over these levels was LMT, which gapped up really nicely and gave us a nice gap and go on Friday, and it looks like it's still getting some continuation. So anybody with runners is doing really quite well this morning here. It hit a high of 427. That was like a 4-month goal on this one, and it did it in like 2 days. So that's a really, really incredible move, especially with options. So good stuff there. In other news, we have an upgrade on Google. Not sure how much that's going to affect everything, but it is gapping down this morning, basically with the rest of the market. So not such a strong upgrade on that one. There was a downgrade on Apple, so who knows if this is the beginning of the end for Apple, right? And inside yesterday, there's a gap below, so we'll see if that pushes down, see if it holds that. But it was a downgrade with a price increase, so a price target increase. So we'll see if that gets any action today. Obviously, Apple's been pretty exciting here at the all-time highs. The other one that should be interesting to keep an eye on this morning is Boeing. So Boeing is down this morning. Again, it has, it could participate in some of the war news too, but it's also having some, some more of its own, 737 Max type news going on as well. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. And then one more, I believe, Amarin had had some news this morning on it as well. So JP Morgan started coverage on it with a neutral. So it's kind of flat here this morning. A little bit of a gap down on a small tick this morning, but that's another one to keep an eye on today. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope everybody has a great trading day today. We're going to be live in our private room at 9:15 this morning. We're going to be going over a lot of these, some 15 orb ideas, and looking for morning momentum for some opening trades, and also to set the pieces up for later this morning. So I hope everybody has a wonderful trading day today, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you soon.